Good day, everyone! Welcome to another episode of JMC EduTrends, a discussion that informs, inspires, and transcends. To all our first-time viewers, this program streams live on www.facebook.com/Josemaria College and on YouTube at JMC EduTrends. Don't forget to type in your comments and questions, send your emojis, click the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you would be notified of future discussions on JMC EduTrends. Without much delay, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the program host of today's discussion.
Good morning, J Marians, and welcome back to our live stream for another episode of JMC EduTrends. Well, Josemaria College had already given the opportunity to use their online platform in sharing ideas and discussions from various fields. And today, it has opened us the opportunity to start ourselves in gaining knowledge over some essential matters in the current administration's tax reform program together with our speakers. I am Suzanne Faith Alberto, your host for today's discussion. And joining with us is a JNC EduTrend Administrator, Ma'am Mirna Ambrosio. And also, everyone, I would also like to acknowledge our panel in today's discussion from A.L. Navarro Accounting and Auditing Services, Sir Victor Baita Timtim. Sir Victor is an Assistant Manager of Tax Advisory and Compliance Services Department and has been in the company of A.L. Navarro Accounting Services since 2015. He is a Certified Public Accountant and an active member of Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountant Davao Chapter. He also obtained his Bachelor of Science in Accountancy and Accountancy Technology degrees from the University of Mindanao. So hello to Sir Victor.
Hello, Mrs. Zane. Good morning.
Hello, Sir Victor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Sir Victor. And next to Sir Victor, we also have Sir Jason Pedrosa Cabrera from A.L. Navarro Auditing and Accounting Services. He is a Senior Manager of Tax Advisory and Compliance Services Department and has been also in the company since 2012. He is a Certified Public Accountant and also an active member of Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountant Davao Chapter. Good morning, Sir Jason.
Good morning, Ma'am Susain. Thank you for that very good introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Jason. So thank you for joining us in today's webinar. And all right, once again, good morning. And I know everyone is quite excited to meet our distinguished speaker for today's discussion. But before that, everyone, may I remind our viewers that we will be posting a link in the comments section where you can fill in your details for your e-certificates. And later on after the discussion, if you have some questions with regards to the topic, you may comment it down and let's address it later. So, all right, to formally start, let me call on the Dean of our College of Business Education for the welcoming remarks and to also introduce our speaker for today's discussion. Let's give the floor to the Dean of College of Business Education of Josemaria College, Dr. Melcher Q. Bombeo. Good morning, sir.
Okay, thank you, Suzanne. Okay. To our esteemed guests, administrative officials of Josemaria College, fellow faculty and staff, students, and entrepreneurs who are with us today, bulahang mayong buntag sa atong tanan. Okay. Today, the College of Business Education have tapped young but highly qualified and experienced certified public accountants who will discuss and enlighten us all on the BIR enforcement activities and the Duterte administration's tax reform program. On hearing the word tax, what usually comes to the mind of Juan de la Cruz are images of infrastructures, businesses, and projects beneficial to the general welfare of the people. Some do have negative impressions. The idea of corruption and dirty tricks, when numerous issues are coloring the taxation system of our country. With this at the crossroad, its importance seems to be overlooked and is viewed more negatively as a burden to the people. The taxation system has been a hot issue, not only among lawmakers. It is a talk in every nook and corner, up to the far-flung barangays. It is a national issue that needs immediate attention and action as it affects the entire country. Looking back from July 2016, when the Duterte administration entered the national arena, and looking forward beyond June 2022, when the 6-year term of the Duterte administration closes, it would be interesting to know where we are now and what future will every Juan de la Cruz expect. It is important to understand taxation and to determine how well it fits the economy of a country, for it is a key factor on its growth. Let us listen to our resource speaker in the person of Ma'am Irish Bulano, a certified public accountant, as together with the panelists, as they will expound on the lifeblood of the government, and they are more than ready to share their views and answer questions on matters that the ordinary entrepreneur encounters when they face the enforcers, the Bureau of the Internal Revenue. Without much further ado, let us welcome our resource person,
Thank you for that generous introduction, Doc Mel. To all our faculty, to the administration, to our students, and to all our viewers now from different social media where we are being live streamed. Good morning to everyone. So, Sir Mel mentioned it, no? Why are we talking about taxes at this point in time? So, that's correct. We are already on the 5th year of Duterte administration. And ano na ba yung mga programa ng Duterte administration as to regards to tax reform program? And of course, our partner in this endeavor, no, our BIR examiner. So it's a very good time to review it right now because this is actually not something new na itong BIR tax reform because it has been implemented already. Actually, the first package has already been implemented, and this is our 4th year of implementation of the first part of tax reform. But why are we discussing it now? Bakit siya relevant as of this time? Because we're actually awaiting the second part of the tax reform program, which has been recently approved by the bicameral conference committee last February 2021. So we're waiting actually for Duterte to sign it into law, but because this will seek to incentivize, no, our entrepreneurs naman. So BIR enforcement activities and tax reform program. This is a very interesting topic, and I'm excited to share with all of you this morning. So let's begin. So Duterte administration comprehensive tax reform program. #tax reform now. So according to our Secretary of Finance, Carlos Dominguez, no, ano ba yung layunin ng administration? So with this program, so it is to create a simpler, fairer, more efficient. So mas simple, patas, no, at mas maayos na sistema o pamamaraan ng tax system in order is needed to promote investment, create jobs, and reduce poverty. So main naman po talaga ng programa ng Duterte administration is to uplift the standard of living of Filipino people. So not reforming the tax system will deprive the poor of the necessary social services and infrastructures that can lift them out of poverty and make them more productive contributors of society. So bakit ba? Bakit kailangan ng tax reform? Bakit ba hindi na lang pagalingin pa why not i-improve na lang ang tax administration or collection process of the BIR and DOC, no? Well, napakaganda nung sinabi ni Undersecretary Carl Chua, no? Sabi niya, we need tax reform policy. Bakit? Because our tax policy or current tax laws, meron din mga kailangan baguhin, no? Para mas maging maayos ang pag-administra ng taxes natin. For example, our current tax law is 1997, right? We're following the tax code 1997. And wala ito naka-index, no? The tax rates there are not, there's no indexation to inflation. As a matter of fact, lumalaki yung ating income, lumalaki ang GDP ng ating country. However, our tax rates and our taxable tax basis remains the same. No, as a 10,000 before our tax reform train law, no, 10,000 pesos earning of our taxpayers is already being taxed at 5%. Whereas with this tax reform program, 250,000, which was previously taxed at 22,500, is now being exempted. No, kaya kailangan baguhin mismo ang ating polisiya. Second, ang daming special treatments and exemptions na nakapaloob sa ating tax laws. No, bakit? Dahil, well, special, though the intentions are really good, no, to protect the vulnerable sectors, kaya may mga exemptions tayo on our tax laws. However, sa dami ng tax exemptions, this created a lot of tax leakages and room for corruption and tax evasion. So, thirdly, meron tayong tinatawag na mga bank secrecy law, which I will discuss further later. So, ano ba yung programa ng ano ba nakapaloob sa tax reform program? Let's now listen to a short clip prepared by the Department of Finance. May I ask Mamirna from our technical team to play our first video.
So, bill. Yun yung train. Paano ko matuluyan kung kinakalaban ng nila? Paano ko maswelduhan yung mga maestra? Paano ko magbilihan ng mga eroplano? Kasi I need to keep this government running.
Maligayang pagdating, mga minamahal naming pasahero. Kayo po ay nasa train o Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion Central Station. Ang biyaheng ito ay patungong Pilipinas 2022. Ito rin ang biyahe upang marating ang ambisyon natin 2040. Una, layunin ng train na magkaroon ng simple, patas at maayos na sistema ng pagbubuwis. Ang kontribusyon ng bawat Pilipino ay iaayon sa kanilang kakayahang magbayad. Lahat ay makikinabang sa mga programa at serbisyo ng ating gobyerno, lalo na ang mga may hirap. Pangalawa, kinakailangan ng train upang tuksain ang matinding kahirapan sa pamamagitan ng pamumuhunan ng gobyerno sa infrastruktura, kalusugan, edukasyon at iba pang social services. Sa pamamagitan ng simple, patas at maayos na sistema ng pagbubuwis, makakatulong ang train sa paglikom ng sapat na pondo para sa pangunahing programa ng gobyerno ngayon at sa susunod pang mga taon upang maabot ang ambisyon natin 2040. Simple lang. Ang train o Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion ay isa sa mga solusyon upang matamo at marating ng bawat Pilipino ang tunay na pagbabago. Kaya mga minamahal naming pasahero, ugali pong alamin ang mga impormasyon ng bawat train station na ating daraanan. Mahalagang maunawaan natin ang Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion. Sama-sama tayong maglakbay tungo sa pagbabago. Maraming salamat po. Maligayang pagsakay sa train. Tayo po ay paparating na sa Pro Sahod Station ng train. Pro Sahod Station. Dito, mas mataas na ang naiuwing sahod ng karamihan sa empleyadong Pilipino. Higher take-home pay para sa 99% ng mga income taxpayers ang ipinagmamalaki ng Pro Sahod Station ng train law. Bago ipatupad ng train, minimum wage earners lang ang exempted sa income tax. Ngayon, lahat ng kumikita ng 250,000 pesos pababa kada taon ay exempted na rin. Less income tax, more take-home pay. Tsak milyong pamilyang Pilipino ang makikinabang dito. Ang Pro Sahod Station, karugtong din ng Pro Negosyo Station. Mas mapapadali ng dalawang istasyong ito ang sistema para income taxpayers, maging individual man o mga negosyante. Simple lang. Simpler tax system, shorter forms, less requirements, equals bawas hassle para sa mga manggagawa at negosyanteng Pilipino. Tayo po ay paparating na sa Pro Health R Kalusugan Station. Pro Health R Kalusugan Station. Prioridad din ng train law ang kalusugan ng bawat mamamayang Pilipino. Dati, senior citizens lang ang exempted sa value-added tax o VAT sa pagbili ng gamot. Ngayon, kung kayo ay may karamdaman gaya ng diabetes, high cholesterol at hypertension, mas mababa na ang inyong babayaran sa pagbili ng gamot para rito dahil exempted na rin ang mga ito sa VAT pag may reseta. Ito ang tulong ng train law sa mga may karamdaman. Ayun pa man, papatawan ng mas mataas na excise tax ang mga produktong nakakasama sa kalusugan tulad ng sigarilyo at soft drinks. Layunin nitong maging mas health conscious ang mga Pilipino. Tayo po ay paparating na sa Pro Infra Build Station. Pro Infra Build Station. Ang istasyon nito ay hindi lamang para sa pagpapatayo ng mga infrastruktura para sa lahat ng Pilipino. Layunin din itong makalikom ng pondo mula sa mga produktong petrolyo. Ang top 10% ng mga pinakamayamang household sa Pilipinas ang may kakayahan. At sila rin ang kumukonsumo ng higit kalahati sa lahat ng mga produktong petrolyo sa lahat ng household. Mas malaki ang maiaambag ng mga may kaya ng mga pinakamayamang household sa pamamaraan ng pinataas na excise tax sa mga produktong petrolyo. 70% ng koleksyon mula sa train ay ilalaan para sa iba't ibang proyekto ng Build sa buong Pilipinas. Mas marami ang maitatayong tulay, kalsada, paliparan, tren at farm-to-market roads. Mas mapapadali ang pagbiyahe ng mga Pilipino. Mapapabilis din nito ang pag-unlad ng mga probinsya dahil mas magiging accessible na ang mga lugar na ito sa kalakalan at turismo. Makakapagpatayo rin ang gobyerno ng mga matitibay na eskwelahan at ospital na hindi basta-bastang mapipinsala ng mga sakuna. Tayo po ay paparating na sa Pro-Poor Transfer Station. Pro-Poor Transfer Station. Nasa istasyong ito ng train law ang iilan sa mga solusyon para makatulong sa mahihirap na pamilya at senior citizens habang nasa adjustment period ang pagpapatupad ng train law. 30% ng malilikom mula sa train law ay inilalaan para sa mga programa tulad ng unconditional cash transfers at pantawid pasada upang maiahon sa matinding kahirapan ang mga nasa laylayan. Ibinabahagi ang mga unconditional cash transfers para sa humigit kumulang 10 milyong mahihirap na pamilyang Pilipino at senior citizens na maaapektuhan ng pagtaas ng excise tax sa mga produktong petrolyo. Kasama nito ang pantawid pasada, gayon din ang mga libreng TESDA trainings. Nakapaloob sa train law ang ganitong mga programa upang alalayan ang mahihirap nating mga kababayan. Mga minamahal naming pasahero, paalala pong muli. Layunin ng mga reforma sa pagbubuwis. Makarating tayong lahat sa huling station, ang ambisyon natin 2040 station. Bago makarating sa ambisyon natin 2040 station, daraan muna tayo sa Pilipinas 2022, kung saan mararanasan ang mga sumusunod. Una, tuloy-tuloy na pamumuhunan ng gobyerno sa infrastruktura, kalusugan, edukasyon at iba pang mga serbisyo para sa lahat ng Pilipino. Pangalawa, mababawasan ang poverty rate mula higit kumulang 22% noong 2015, pababa sa 14%. Makakaahon ang milyong-milyong Pilipino sa kahirapan. At pangatlo, magiging upper middle income country ang Pilipinas, tulad ng Thailand o Malaysia sa ngayon. Sa ambisyon nating 2040 station, maaasahan ang mga sumusunod. Simple at maginhawang buhay. Magandang edukasyon. Mabuting kalusugan ng mga Pilipino. At ang pinakamahalaga, isang matatag at patuloy na lumalagong ekonomiya. Zero extreme poverty, kung saan walang gugutom na pamilya. Yan ang ambisyon natin 2040. Inaasahan namin ang inyong pagsama sa mga susunod pang biyahe ng ating train o tax reform for acceleration and inclusion. Isa sa mga solusyon upang matamo at marating ng bawat Pilipino ang mas komportableng buhay at tunay na pagbabago. Tuloy-tuloy ang biyahe natin, mga pasaherong Pilipino. Sa train law, sagot natin ang pagbabago.
Ayun. Thank you, Miss Mirna. So, diba, ang ganda ng vision ng ating gobyerno. At kinailangan natin itong tax reform para maabot yung mga pangarap ng ating gobyerno para sa masang Pilipino. No? So, bakit nga ba train? No? Bakit hindi aeroplano, hindi Mitsubishi o Pajero? Diba? So, bakit ba train? Kasi diba, ang train, pangmasa ito. Napakamura at diba, kapag sasakay ka ng train, kung nakapagpunta ka na sa Manila or sa ibang bansa, no? Mura ang biyahe kapag sumakay ka ng train. Mabilis ito at naaabot ang mga malalayong lugar. Like for example, sa Japan, no? They don't have to flock, no? Yung mga, their citizen does not have to flock sa city mismo dahil naaabot ang malalayong lugar. And not only that, it will give the provinces, no, a chance to develop and to grow because of accessibility, no. Kaya yun, ang pangarap ng Duterte administration is really para sa masang Pilipino, no, to uplift everyone. So, balik tayo dun sa ating slides. Ayan. So, ito yung kabuuang comprehensive tax reform program ni Duterte. So, meron tayong 4. No? And this is, well, ito yung magpupondo sa 10-point socio-economic agenda ng current administration. So, nakita niyo sa video ang train, which is the package 1. We're actually on our 4th year of implementation already of the train, which was implemented beginning January 1, 2018. So, di ba sa train law, ang pangunahing ang priority program doon ay ang mga individual citizens talaga, or individual taxpayers. Kaya it's about personal income tax, no? Consumption tax, to improve health, no? Kaya if you can feel it, mas mahal na, diba, ang soft drinks, no? Mas mahal na sugar drinks na sugary products. And also transaction taxes. Pinatupad na din ang package 1B, which is the tax amnesty, estate and delinquency tax amnesty. Ang ganda din ng programang tax amnesty. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng amnesty? So, sa mga students naman on income tax, na nabanggit na ito, no? So, tax amnesty is where the government grants general pardon, no? They will turn a blind eye and forgive yung past years natin, and which will enable taxpayers to have a fresh start of proper compliance. And we're now on our package 2. Ito yung inaabangan natin ngayon na mapirmahan ni Pangulong Duterte into law. So this incentivizes naman entrepreneurs, no? Micro, small, and medium businesses. So it focuses on corporate income tax and fiscal incentives. Whereas package 2 plus is about tobacco, excise, and alcohol, or tinatawag natin sin taxes. So bakit ba may sin taxes? Ano bang layunin nito? No? Sin taxes or excise tax, pinapatong ito sa mga bagay na nakakasama sa kalusugan at kalikasan, no? Tulad na lamang ng tobacco and alcohol. So ano bang layunin natin? Una, layunin ng gobyerno, because of imposing a higher tax on sin products, no, to discourage and control the consumption of these products, no, kasi nga nakakasama, lalo na para sa ating mga kabataan at mga mahihirap na kababayan. And secondly, ang pondo na ma-generate dito on the sin taxes will be used to finance, no, para pondohan ang universal healthcare system. So ang ganda nito, if you've been listening to World Health Organization, no, ulit-ulit itong binabanggit nila, the universal healthcare system. So why do we need this? Meron naman ng PhilHealth. The universal healthcare system seeks to broaden the coverage, no, ng libreng serbisyo when it comes to health, no. Like, diba ngayon sa PhilHealth, we are limited to few fixed case rates. Well, as the universal healthcare system, ang layunin is to have unlimited coverage, no. So this will benefit who will be most benefited? Mga mamamayang Pilipino din. So package 3 is property valuation reform. Package 4 is passive income and financial tax. And we also have others, no? Motor vehicles users tax. So isa din ito sa mga programa which will help, no, which will help protect our environment from pollution by levying higher taxes on motor vehicles use, and also to congest, diba, the traffic in our country. Dito nga sa Davao, diba, ramdam na natin ang traffic, no, because of, well, positive naman yun. It means more people can afford vehicles, no, so it's a proof that we are growing sa ating economy, no. And you have general amnesty with lifting of bank secrecy for fraud cases and automatic exchange of information. Na, alam niyo ba na tayo, Pilipinas, together with Lebanon, ang dalawang country in the world who has the absolute bank secrecy law. Because of this, nahihirapan ating mga BIR examiners to run after tax evaders. No? So, by lifting itong very stringent law, it will help taxpayers be more compliant. And we have the third, mining tax regime. So again, this will have something to do with our efforts to improve environment or to care for our environment. So diba, pag sasakay tayo ng train, patungong Pilipinas 2022. So ano ba yung 2022? Ito yung 4 na layunin as na-mention sa ating video kanina. No? So, reduce poverty rate from 22% down to 14%, which translates to some 6 million Filipinos lifted out of poverty. Kaya, ang isa sa mga implementation, agad-agad, unang implementation talaga, is to lower the tax rates and to higher ang tax base. No? Lower tax rates, higher tax base, in order for more Filipinos at lalo na yung mga mahihirap or who are earning lower income no, to be free. Mas malaki yung naiuwi nila because of lower taxes. So, higher take-home pay, which gives them more funds no, to spend for their family, para sa mga pangarap ng pamilyang Pilipino. And realize a law-abiding country, achieve peace within the nation and with our neighbors, and to graduate to an upper middle income country status. So, next year na to, diba? We're already 2021. So, 2022, ano ba yung pangarap natin? Pangarap natin ihalin tulad na ang ating ekonomiya sa Malaysia at Thailand. And by 2040, no, patungo pa rin 2040. So, our train will continue to travel up to 2040 to eradicate extreme poverty and alleviate the standard of living of the Filipino people. Establish inclusive economic and political institution where everyone has equal opportunities and achieve a high-income country status. So, ano bang level ang high-income country status, diba? So, we have Korea, no? Japan, Singapore. So, yun yung pangarap natin. So, ano ba ang nangyari na? So, we've implemented Train Law 2018. So, anong progress sa collection ng BIR? So, in the slides, we show here the blue chart is the target collection of the BIR, while the red chart is the actual collection. So, in 2017, before the tax reform program implementation, now we've collected 1.7, this is in trillion, not trillions. 1.7 trillion pesos ang nakolekta ng BIR. On the first year of implementation, 2018, BIR was able to collect 1.9 trillion pesos. So that's around 200 billion increase no, in our collection. And this, kaya na-fund yung ating build projects. No? We have 2019, we've collected 2.1 trillion pesos. And in 2020, well, because of pandemic, no, BIR was, but still, even despite of pandemic, makikita mo that we are able to collect 1.9 billion. That is still very high, no? And yun nga, isa sa nakakahanga sa Filipino people. No? Corporations, taxpayers are still trying hard to pay their taxes, no? And as this finance, no, our healthcare system during pandemic ating mga ayuda na natanggap no, na mamamayang Pilipino din naman. So for 2021, magkano ba ang collection goal ng BIR? So collection goal natin is at 2 trillion pesos. So ayun, so tapos na tayo diba sa train, sa first package. And I know na nararamdaman natin ang epekto nito, lalo-lalo na sa faculty natin and to all our entrepreneurs who are listening. Higher take-home pay and of course, growth, no, lalo na dito sa Davao, diba? The build project. Nagbukas na portion of our coastal road and nakakahanga nga na biglang may mga road, ang daming road na under construction. So package 2 of the Comprehensive Tax Reform Program, or what we call now the CREATE Act. So corporate, meaning corporate recovery and tax incentives for enterprises. So CREATE has been approved by the Bicameral Conference Committee last February 3, so last month lang, and we are waiting for the President to sign it into law. Or baka may i-veto na provisions ni Pangulong Duterte. So ano bang nasa CREATE Act? CREATE Act seeks to lower the corporate income tax rate, which is currently at 30% now, down to 20%. Reorient fiscal incentives towards strategic growth industry and make incentives available to investors or making net positive contributions to society. So we're encouraging more investors, more entrepreneurs to start their business. No? Diba? Mas madaming negosyo, mas madaming trabaho ang mapupunta sa mamamayang Pilipino. So, bakit ba natin ibababa ang ating tax rate? No? Bakit? Alam niyo ba na in our ASEAN, no, in the ASEAN region, Philippines currently imposes the highest corporate income tax rate. And this hampers the country's ability to compete with other countries. Bakit? Because investors, no foreign investors, would of course choose the countries with lower taxes, diba? So for example, Singapore only has 17%. And we know that Singapore is a first world country, right? Pilipinas nasa pinakamataas tayo ng 30% since 2019. We have here Myanmar at 25%, Malaysia at 20%, Indonesia at 22%, Lao PDR at 20%, Vietnam 20%, Thailand 20%, Cambodia 20%, and Brunei 18.5%. So diba pangarap natin na by 2022 may tulad tayo to Thailand and Malaysia. So we also have to adjust our corporate income tax rates. So magandang balita to for our entrepreneurs, no? So diba, lower taxes will give them more funds para pondohan ang kanilang working capital para sa negosyo, no? So it will give them more funds to expand and to grow their business. So ito yung goal ng ating tax reform program, no? From 30% in 2019 down to 20% by 2029. This was the original plan. However, ang na-approve ng ating approved ng both Congress and Senate, the bicameral committee, no, is to immediately lower income tax rate from 30% down to 25% effective effective July 2020. So 1% down, 30% to 29% as shown in the graph. However, what was passed na as a bill is 30% and down to 25%. And for our small and micro enterprises, no, those companies who have an asset of more than 100 million below and whose total revenue is 5 million below, no, will be able to are given a much lower rate of 20%. 30%, 25%, and 20%. So napakaliit nun and napaka-gandang balita yun for all our entrepreneurs. So we know that 99% of corporations in the Philippines mostly are micro, small, and medium enterprises. So imagine 99% will be able to save so much on their taxes. Another program of the BIR is the VAT. So we know that VAT, value-added tax, is a tax imposed on basic commodities. Diba? Kumain ka sa Jollibee or kumain ka sa McDo, you will immediately pay 12% on whatever you buy. No? And halos lahat ng commodity natin may 12% VAT. However, kung titignan nyo, 12% ang VAT ng Philippines. Indonesia imposes only 10%. Thailand 7%, Vietnam 10%, Malaysia 6%. Bakit ang dami kasing exemptions na binibigay ng ating law? Well, those are well-meaning intentions naman, no? We want to protect the interest groups, lobbyist groups, no, and the vulnerable sectors of our society. However, by giving too much exemptions, no, nahihirapan din almost half of the economy who are paying the taxes, no? We are taxed at 12%. And ang kita natin from that, according to USEC Carl Chiwen, we earn around 4% GDP ang nakakolekta natin from that. And it's the same amount as what Thailand is able to collect. No, same rate as what Thailand is able to collect from its citizen. But on a much lower rate. Nakakollect ng Thailand only at 7%, whereas tayo, we need a higher rate of 12%. So part of our tax reform is to review itong mga exemptions, to lower the tax exemptions, to broaden the tax base. So yun yung isa sa mga goal. This is another slide from our Department of Finance. No? So Philippines gives so much incentives. Our government is giving too much incentives. Meron pa tayo incentive for a number of years, whereas ibang countries, they only give 9 years, yung may mga green dots. 9 years, 4 years, 5 years, 5 years, 8 years. No? But meron tayo up to 40 years. We are giving tax incentives. So our government has been too generous. That's why part of the CREATE Act seeks to promote a fair and accountable tax incentive system na performance-based, targeted, time-bounded, and transparent. So every peso granted as tax incentive is a peso off the budget that could have been spent for para sa masang Filipino infrastructures, health, education, and social protection that will benefit all of our citizens, not only a few. So imagine according sa study ng Department of Finance, 441 billion, 441 billion are foregone revenues in 2017 because of tax incentives. And this could have funded 33,000 public markets, 130,000 daycare centers, 46,000 kilometers of roads, or 450,000 classrooms. So ito na sana yung napagawa natin lahat kung wala masyadong incentives na binibigay ang government. So yun yung isa sa mga priority ng layunin ng current administration. Ayan. So sabi ni Duterte, this is July 22, 2019 during Sunday. So I implore Congress to immediately pass Package 2. So 2019 pa nakiusap ating Pangulong Duterte, and it was passed 2021. To immediately pass Package 2 of Comprehensive Tax Reform Program or Trabajo Bill. So CREATE Bill was previously called Trabajo Bill, which will gradually lower corporate income tax and rationalize and improve fiscal incentives. This will energize our MSMEs and encourage them to expand their business, as the MSMEs, or micro, small, and medium enterprises, hold the promise of raising a lot of Filipinos. All right, so may I ask Ma'am Mirna of our technical team to now present our second video.
Salamat. Good morning to all. Magandang umaga. Mayang buntag sa mga Bisaya o taga Mindanao. Of course, the Department of Education is one with 99. We fully support the government's tax reform for acceleration and inclusion.
It began with a vision of a man who believes in education as an enabling force that leads to the enlightenment and transformation of individual in a society. What started in 2002, Jose Maria College, flourished and has grown into one of the leading institutions in this part of the country.
One of the
best law school, offering the best facilities with the best teachers, yet offering it at a very low rate. And this is very unique, and we should give our thanks to Pastor Apollo Kibuloy for making this happen.
I would like to thank the school, the administration, and Pastor Kibuloy for opening up another law school after 54 years. This will be a good help also in the community, and for the next so many years we'll have lawyers, I'm sure, of quality education would be graduating from the Jose Maria College.
All right. And so, inulit ni Pangulong Duterte na, sabi ni Pangulong Duterte, diba, na ang taxes, ang fuel, or gasolina. So, these are, sabi nga ni Doc Mel, taxes are the lifeblood of our government. No? So, we need these taxes. This is our contribution, no, to the government in order to finance social services, no, ang growth of our country. So, tayo yung partner ng gobyerno through our taxes in our nation building. So, may I go back to our slides, ma'am? So, ayun. So, natapos tayo sa first part of our talk, no? Yun yung current tax reform program. So, I hope na na-excite kayo sa programa ng Pangulo. So, we have until 2022, July 2022 under the current administration. And madami pang tax reform packages na dapat ma-implement according to their plan. No? So, we're still looking kung ano pa yung magiging progress, no, for the remaining months of the current administration. So, subaybayan nyo ito. I really recommend that you follow our hashtag tax reform na in our social media accounts or the Department of Finance and BIR's pages. No? So, they are always posting updates about nito. So, let's go now to BIR, another interesting topic now, BIR enforcement activities. Ano ba ibig sabihin nitong enforcement activities? So, BIR enforcement activities, these are BIR audit. So, dito pumapasok yung mga BIR examiners natin. So alam niyo ba that enforcement activities contributes only 2%. So ang liit lang ng collection ng BIR from these activities. Pero bakit? No? Bakit nila ito ginagawa kung ganun lang kaliit? Because enforcement activities is necessary and it plays a big role in encouraging taxpayers to comply and pay the right taxes. Now remember, taxes is based on laws, no? Law of the land. So kapag hindi tayo sumunod or we don't pay our taxes correctly, meron itong mga criminal provisions, no? But we do know, let's keep that as in mind though, that our taxes are not penal in nature. No, the penalties and provisions are only meant, no, to secure taxpayers' compliance. And that's why our BIR examiners comes in, no, to ensure that everyone is compliant with our law. So let's now go into, no, let's check ano ba yung mga ginagawa ng BIR examiners to check, no, if we are complying our taxes correctly. So balik tayo dito, no, sa our slide, to this presentation. So BIR collects almost 95% naman of their target. So you see that the target keeps on rising, 2017, 2018, 2019. And we are always fall short of our collection, no? Pero 95% collection target, that is a very good, maganda naman yun. In 2020, na despite pandemic, after several years, na hindi naabot ng BIR target nila. In 2020, they were able to reach it na and surpass it. 1.17 collection target it was lowered because of the pandemic nga. But BIR was able to collect 1.9 million. Ayan. So in 2021, eto nga. So 2.1 trillion pesos. So there are two schemes to reduce tax liability, no? We have tax avoidance, which is good, and tax evasion, which is bad. So ano ba yung tax avoidance? Now, tax avoidance is minimizing our tax payments by maximizing within legal means. So maximizing tax incentives by careful tax planning, no? Kaya meron tayong mga tax accountants, no, lawyers, and CPAs who are there to assist us, no, plan our taxes well, and maximize yung provisions of the law. Whereas tax evasion is bad. So kaya ang unang program ng BIR is run after tax evaders, or we call rate. So parang heart rate, no? So ito yung BIRs, makikita niyo yung mga examiners, they're actually meron silang mga t-shirts which says run after tax evaders. So tax evaders, what does BIR want? They seek to identify and prosecute high-profile tax evaders. So bakit? Because they want, diba, we want to set this as an example na hindi dapat ito ginagawa. Tax evasion is a crime, and violators will be caught and punished. So what is the tool of the BIR to catch ito ng mga taxpayers? We have the VAT relief, or value-added tax relief. What does relief mean? Shortcut lang yung relief, but it actually means reconciliation of listing for enforcement. Imagine, it's really a listing intended, no, for BIR audit. Yun talaga yung purpose ng VAT relief. Ano ba yung VAT relief? So it's like this. So, alam niyo, taxpayers, they will, and si seller, no, so yung nagbebenta, the seller is required to input in this system ng BIR. So this is BIR system. TIN, last name, first name. So lahat ng detail, pati amount na nabenta niya ng mga produkto, no? And magkano yung VAT rate. So required sila to post this. Whereas si buyer naman, yung bumili, sa purchase naman nila on VAT relief, they are required to report naman lahat ng binili niya. So diba, cross-matching yung ginagawa ng BIR. So sa seller, nagre-report. Ito namang bumili, nagre-report din. So ima-match yun ng BIR. That's what we call cross-matching. If, for example, si seller nag-declare, si purchaser hindi nag-declare, so malalaman ni BIR, ikaw, purchaser, buyer, hindi ka nag-declare ng tama. Or kabaliktaran. If i-declare naman ni purchaser or ni buyer, hindi nag-declare si seller, mahuhuli rin ni BIR. So yun yung which is a very effective system. No? So, tinatawag natin dito is cross-matching. Cross-matching of data from one taxpayer to another. So kapag hindi nagma-match, pinapadalhan ng BIR examiner si taxpayer ng love letter. No? Ang unang love letter is letter of notice. So this is under Revenue Memorandum Order 30-2013. So itong VAT relief became operational lamang in 2002. So that the relief system, no, can detect tax leaks by matching the data available under the BIR's integrated tax system with data gathered from third-party sources. No? Tulad na lamang ng sales, purchases, and importation. So, namamatch ng BIR. And anong ginagawa nila for non-compliant? So, meron tayong Oplan Candado. Isa ito sa mga, well, main programs under RATE, no? Oplan Candado. There's actually establishments already in Davao, no, who experience this, and you might know of some, but I will not mention. Suspends the operation and temporarily close the business establishment, which do not comply with essential BIR requirements. So, ano ba yung objective ng Oplan Candado? So, strict implementation of the administrative sanction and penalties, maximize voluntary compliance, and increase revenue collection. So, ito yung mga halimbawa ng Oplan Candado class, no? So, sorry, nakapag-class. So, Oplan Candado, ayan, no? So, naglalagay si BIR ng banner, malaking banner sa tindahan mo or sa negosyo mo. Oplan Candado, this establishment is temporarily closed. So, diba, anong effect nito? It will affect your reputation as a taxpayer. So, syempre, matatakot ka, diba? And you will be encouraged to comply taxes properly. So, ayan. So, BIR yung padlock, talagang literally Oplan Candado and padlock. The padlock used there is BIR padlock na may logo yan ng BIR. So, ayun. And tilid nito. So, may kasamang media, no? Lagi may kasama, like, ito. Tignan mo, ang lapit nila sa door, tapos ang lapit-lapit nila sa banner na, mabasa mo naman yung poster from afar. So, for picture-taking purposes, ay, nakasmile pa si Kuya. So, for picture-taking purposes, na ilalapit talaga nila yung mukha nila dun sa poster. So, well, what is the intention there, no? So, kasama lagi ang media when BIR conducts Oplan Candado because they seek to shame these taxpayers who are not complying properly or who are evading our tax laws. And so, sino kasama? May police, diba? We have there our police power, we have the media, and we have our BIR examiners. So, nakakatakot yung Oplan Candado. And grounds for suspension, so ano ba yung, bakit ba umaabot to the point na may Oplan Candado? So, ito yung mga hindi nag-i-issue ng resibo, no? Failure to issue receipts. Hindi nagpa-file ng tax return. Ibig sabihin, kapag hindi ka nag-file ng tax return, hindi mo binabayaran yung taxes mo, right? And hindi nagdadeclare ng tamang amount. So, those who under-declare their revenue by 30%. So, that is the fraud line of the BIR. 30% under-declaration of revenue or 30% over-declaration of expenses. So, that is their fraud line. Or hindi nakapag-register. You're doing business, wala kang hindi ka rehistrado. So, BIR can also, pwede din kandaduhan yung BIR ang iyong negosyo. So, gaano ba katagal itong Oplan Candado? Not less than 5 days. So, again, nakataya yung reputasyon mo, diba? And shall be enforced until violation is rectified. So, this was 2019. Sorry, hindi ko nakakuha ng update. But the target of the Revenue District Office is to have one closure. So, one Oplan Candado per semester. So, that's 2 every year. So, yung campaign ng BIR. Ano pa? So, meron pang iba. So, we also have this overt surveillance. So, napakaganda din nito na programa ng BIR enforcement activity, no? Overt surveillance. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng surveillance? 20th, di ba, surveillance like CCTV, there's a surveillance system. Magmamasid si BIR sa negosyo mo buong araw. So, from the moment that you open your business to the moment that you close your business, andyan si BIR examiner, nakaupo, no? Nasa tindahan mo mismo, they will sit down with you. So, for minimum of 10 days, maximum of 30 days. So, imagine, tatakbo ka ng negosyo and andyan yung BIR examiner sa office mo every single day. Now, and round the clock if the nature of the business so requires. So, anong ginagawa ni BIR examiner pag surveillance? No? Siyempre, makukuha ni BIR magkano talaga yung kita mo for those days na andyan siya. No? And like, for example, andyan siya for 30 days. So, makakompute niya pila ang revenue mo for 30 days. So, magkano kita mo for 30 days, no, times 12 months. So, magkano ang kita mo for the entire year? Magkano lang ba yung dineclare mo? So, makikita niyo, ito yung totoong kita mo. Ito lang yung dineclare mo. So, isa yun sa mga ways ni BIR to run after tax evaders. Diba? So, kapag hindi mo dineclare ng tama yung revenue mo, so, mahuhuli through overt surveillance. What else? So, this is another enforcement activity. Now, our BIR commissioner, which is now Cesar Dulay, right, is a Mindanaoan. So, our mission can give mission orders. So, ano yung mission orders? So, again, magpapadala ng love letter si BIR. Taxpayer, congratulations, you are getting audited. So, what could be a mission order? Pwede example, inventory count. So, BIR examiners may conduct on-the-spot inventory count of all your products. No? And this is another kind of love letter, a letter of authority. So Section 6 of the Tax Code of 1997 as amended. So after the return has been filed, as required under the provisions of the code, the commissioner or his representative may authorize the examination of the taxpayer and the assessment of the correct amount of tax. So ang gagawin ng BIR, i-check nila if yung final mo ba for a specific period ay tama o hindi. So, audit letter ito. Ano ang nangyayari kapag ayaw mong pumamply or ayaw mong sumunod or ayaw mong magpa-audit na BIR may issue subpoena duces tecum. So, again, this is about a tax legal term, diba? Because our tax laws, again, are legal based, no? So, these are laws of the land. So if the taxpayer refuses to comply, the BIR legal office will may file a criminal case against the taxpayer. File a criminal case. So this could lead to warrant of arrest, right? Or initiate proceeding to cite the taxpayer for contempt. Contempt, not obeying the tax laws or the law of the land. And so we have two more. This is tax compliance verification drive or tax mapping. So, this is a very common practice ng BIR. So, ang goal ng tax mapping is to expand the tax base and enhance tax compliance. So, ang goal naman nito is to check if yung mga businesses ba na nagnenegosyo are registered with the BIR. So, ito yung sinacheck nila. May BIR resibo ka ba? So this is what we call certificate of registration at the second picture in the slide. So, certificate of registration is a proof that you have been registered, that you registered your business. As for receipt poster, to remind your customer na mga yung resibo. And we have the books of accounts and the registration form. So, ang sabi ng BIR, this, yung COR, as for receipt and payment, should be posted on a conspicuous place. Ano ibig sabihin nun? So, dapat pagpasok pa lang sa negosyo mo, like, pumasok ka sa isang restaurant or milk tea shop, no? Pagpasok mo pa lang sa milk tea shop, makikita mo na yung registration documents. So, subukan yun, no? Subukan yung pumasok. Next time na bumili kayo or makalabas kayo, try nyo kahit sa 7-Eleven shops, no? Tingnan nyo if nakapost ba ito. So, pag nakapost ito, ibig sabihin, compliant si taxpayer. Kapag hindi yan nakapost, ayun, nag-love letter na naman si BIR sa'yo for non-compliance. And remember, one of the grounds for upland candado is failure to register. So, kapag naman natapos na si BIR mag-tax map, ayun, bit din ito ng examiners So nag-iikot-ikot yan sila, no? They go from one business establishment to another. Makikita niyo sa malls, usually may mga tax map stickers yan, mga businesses. So they go on field and visit businesses and check if compliant. So bid-bid nila ito. Kapag hindi ka nakapag-comply or hindi ka nakapag-register, ayan yung mga penalties, no? First offense, second offense. Ayan yung checklist ng BIR in their tax mapping. So kapag natapos na, they will post this, tax map. So tapos ka niyang na-map ng BIR. Alright, so another is the tax account management program. So ito naman, well, may letter na naman ulit na, congratulations taxpayer, you have been identified na nagko-contribute ka at least 80% ng collection. So maraming salamat sa contribution mo. Ngayon, bibigyan ka namin ng isang examiner. No? You will be assigned as a specific revenue officer who will monitor, no, strictly monitor if your filing activities and any changes in your payments. Tax account management program. And finally, we have the benchmarking notice. Sinak ko yung time. So we also have the benchmarking notice. This is per Revenue Memorandum 4-2006. So this is the last enforcement activity that I'm going to share with you guys. No? So using what is benchmarking? This is using ratios to calculate acceptable net income. Acceptable net income or gross profit per industry. So kapag nag-register ka kasi kay BIR, you register as ang industry ka na belong. So itong ginagamit ng BIR examiners, no, as basis for upline candado. So syempre, through this, malalaman ng BIR agad if you're compliant or not. So ano ba ito? So this is an example. Ito, no? So makita nyo in the screen, we have their benchmarking. So this is from our RDO na sa Davao, Revenue District Office. So in Davao, we have two RDOs, RDO West Davao and RDO East Davao. So ayan. So we have here the rates. No? Kapag bake shop, ito yung expected rate ng inyong industry. Ito yung, kumbaga, ito yung tax na babayaran mo based on gross sales. Kapag custom brokers naman, ayan, so we have gross profit benchmark rate, income tax rate, VAT rate. Magkaiba din naman sa Manila, no? Yan, so magkaiba ito per district kasi nga, depende yon sa, depende sa growth of the district, no? We have gasoline, groceries, hardware, hauling. So, ayan yung mga industry types. And ito yung tax, benchmark tax rate. Now, kapag for example, in Davao, lahat ng bake shop, no, individual. So, lahat ng bake shop, on an average, nagbabayad ng 1% of their revenue. So, kasi yun yung naging benchmark, no? This is, levied from industry, actual industry rates. So, 1% of revenue binabayad nila, ikaw, ang binayad mo lang, hindi umabot ng 1%. Kasi ang binayad mo lang is 0.20%. So, ang layo. Ang layo mo sa industry. Bakit ito sa taxpayer ganito lang binabayad? So, isa-check ka ngayon ni BIR. Diba? Kasi, on an average, ito yung binabayad ng mga taxpayers on the same line of business as you. So, yun. So, with the help of benchmarking tool, BIR is able to increase the collection fast. No? They don't have to conduct individual checking or individual audit. This is wasteful, no, of resources, manpower, no, and time. Kapag isa-isa i-audit ni BIR lahat ng taxpayers. So, through benchmarking, they will be able to see agad immediately sino yung hindi na-comply sa benchmark and sino yung potentially for audit. Ayan. So I'm gonna end with the slide now. So more than just a social responsibility, paying taxes contributes to improving the lives of every Filipino. So this is actually the theme of our 2021 BIR tax kickoff, no? Buwis ko para sa Pilipino. So BIR is not something to be scared of. BIR examiners, hindi sila nakakatakot, no? They are there to help us comply properly. So they are actually partners of our, we are partners now to help in nation building. So to all our faculty and entrepreneurs who are currently already filing and paying our taxes now, let's keep on doing that and be partners of our nation building. And to all our students now who are future taxpayers, so know that your taxes is the lifeblood of our government, and this will fuel us patungo sa ating vision, no? Ambition 2040 Pilipinas. So thank you very much, everyone.
That was indeed a great discussion, Ma'am Irish. And indeed, the change that the tax reform program brought in our economy has been very beneficial, and it may benefit us more on the long run from the proposals it may carry. So once again, thank you, Ma'am Irish, for educating us and sharing us your knowledge and expertise. So everyone, I believe that most of our viewers are now up for more information to the topic, as this essential discussion would develop our interests and our insights with the taxable activities around our economy. Well, at this moment, let's have our panel for some questions and further discussions. And once again, as a reminder to our viewers, we'll be posting a link in the comment section where you can fill in your details for your e-certificates. And later on, after the discussion, if you have some questions with regard to the topic, you may comment it down and let's address it later. So now, from our panel, who would like to ask the first question?
Hi, Miss A. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Okay. Ma'am, I have a question here from my friends na maulo din sila mag-post on Facebook, so nag-chat na lang sila sa ako. So, ma'am, first question, what do you think is the downside of tax reform, and what do you think are the reasons that may hamper its success?
Okay. Good question, no? So thank you for that question, Sir Vic. Well, ang based on our on our experience, I'll speak for myself. The most vulnerable sector kasi is our minimum wage earners, no? Diba sila yung kumbaga, because they earn very little na, they don't really have any incentives na on the reduced tax rates kasi nga wala na silang tax in the first place. However, all basic commodities has increased, no? Yung fuel, because of increase in taxes and fuel, like increase din yung mga bilihin, diba? So inflation sa market, ganyan. So naapektuhan yung most vulnerable sector of our mamayang Pilipino. But again, sabi naman ng ating Undersecretary na Carl Chuan, sabi nila na they are gonna ensure na yung benefits or yung incentives na makukuha natin through infrastructures, health, education, this would be more, this will give more incentives than yung burden to our Filipino people. So, ayun lang. So maybe the challenge really is also on the administration, no, on BIR side. Yun naman talaga lagi ang challenge to our taxes. Maganda ating mga laws, but on the implementation side. So this would be a very challenging ito for our examiners. So thank you.
Also, ma'am, a follow-up question. What do you think is the role of the accountants in contributing to the success of the vision of the government? Sa ating mga accountants po.
Yeah, to our accountants. So, Sir Vic and Sir Jason, sa mga kasama ko dito, no, and Sir Ralph, and to our students. So, we are tax accountants, we have our tax students. So, ano ba yung role natin? I believe para tayong mga guardians, no? We are the watchdogs, kumbaga. The government and the entrepreneur, we are the watchdogs to help ensure na financial statement, taxes are fairly presented, no, correct, and the taxpayers are complying properly. And also to help our taxpayers understand, explain to them. Kasi kapag naman naiintindihan nila na ang taxes nila napupunta naman sa maayos, no, if they can see na maganda yung pagtutunguhan ng mga binabayad nila, I think they'll be very, very cooperative, no, and helpful on complying taxes properly. So, yun yung role natin. So, we are the watchdogs and guardians.
Yes, ma'am. The key is to help them understand talaga the taxes ay kung saan mapupunta yung taxes po. That would be all, ma'am Irish. Thank you very much po.
Thank you, Sir Vic.
All right, thank you, Sir Vic. Now, how about some questions from Sir Jason? Hello, sir.
Okay, I think Suzanne is ready to present the next panel.
All right. So, everyone, we are now to our second part of today's program, which is we'll be having an open forum to
Good
answer.
morning,
All right. Okay. Please,
Ma'am
Sir Jason.
Irish.
Morning, sir.
All right. I think there are some problem with the connection to from Sir Jason. So we would now continue to our second part in this program. So once again, we'll be having an open forum to answer some questions from our viewers. So for our first time viewers, if you have any questions again, you can send us your um, questions by typing it in the comment section down below. And for some of the questions, we would like to ask this to Ma'am Irish. This is from a viewer in our YouTube live stream, ma'am. Ma'am Irish, as a practitioner, how do you motivate clients, especially those who are resistant to change, to pay the appropriate amount of taxes?
So thank you for that question, Suzanne. No? Correct. Now, there are taxpayers who are resistant to change, and that is the reality na. And I think it's not only the taxpayers. No? Talaga naman ganun, diba? Pag may mga pagbabago, there will always be force na mag-resist nito. But again, as I mentioned to Sir Vic, no, to encourage them by helping them understand and appreciate. Yun naman talaga yun. Appreciate and what enable them to see, no, ano ba yung role natin to this project, no? Siyempre, ikaw, taxpayer, dadaan ka sa bridge, dadaan ka sa road. Hindi ka mahihiyang dumaan, no, sa mga bagong roads na in-open natin. Kasi, oo, nag-contribute ako to this, no? So, looking at it on a positive side, it's really making them, I believe it's really making them understand yung awareness, no? And I think, well, it's really not up to us lang, no, accountants. It's up to the to the government itself. If people will see, no, na napupunta nga talaga yung perang binabayad nila to help service, no, provide services sa masang Pilipino. Well, the government has to show that, no, not with its projects and with its programs. Kasi kapag hindi naman yun natutupad ng mga ng government because of corruption, tax evasion. So mahihirap din to encourage taxpayers. That's why diba, one of the galit na galit ang ating Pangulong Duterte on corruption, and isa ito sa mga talagang he is very aggressive, no? Aggressive on pasupuin itong corruption. So thank you, Susan.
Thank you for that answer, ma'am. We also have another question from you, from the viewer. So we have this question. How important is the role of the tax reform program of the Duterte administration in reaching ambisyon natin 2040?
Thank you, Suzanne. So, balik tayo dun sa objective of the tax reform program. No? Ano ba yung goal natin? So, it's really a change of policy to broaden the tax base and increase collection. No? Increase collection by not by shifting no the burden. No? Kasi, like for example, on our VAT, no? Ating VAT system, ang taas ng rate diba natin compared to Thailand, which is able to generate the same rate of revenue. So by lowering the tax incentives through tax reforms, no, ayusin yung sistema currently na nasa ating tax laws, we'll be able to generate more revenues to fund these projects ng infrastructures, health, education, in order for us to maabot natin yung pangarap, Ambition 2040 na high income status. Now, without these reforms, our tax laws will continue to be oppressive, no, oppressive to our Filipino, lalo na to the most vulnerable sectors of our society. So yun, another is health, diba? Health, isa sa priority natin, like as I mentioned, yung mga sin taxes, no, creating higher rate on this to discourage consumption. So this will encourage Filipinos, lalo na mga kabataan natin, to refrain, no, discourage, wag niyo to gamitin kasi mahal nga ito. So, yun. So, health benefit and also higher revenue collection to fund the programs, to fund the social economic programs of the government. So, we believe kasi, ang sabi nga ni Sec. Carl Chua, we believe na, well, itong tax reform, we're looking at the short term muna, no? 5 years. So we're looking at 5 years. Mapupondohan natin through these reforms itong first 5 years of our project. And they believe na kapag masustain natin itong 5 years, it will continue to sustain the government for the coming years, no? The programs of the government for the coming years. Thank you, Suzanne.
Okay, thank you once again, Ma'am Irish. Before you proceed to some of the questions from our viewers, let's go back to Sir Jason Cabrera, who prepared also a question for you, Ma'am Irish. Sir Jason?
Yes, good morning once again, Ma'am Irish.
Good morning, sir.
A while ago, you also discussed that looking also to the effect of the train law, ma'am. More or less, we'll see what's the result for about 5 years. So, ma'am, based on your experience, professional experience right now, so just a opinion current tax laws now can contribute to the effective collection
Okay, I think,
of taxes.
Sir. All right. I think Sir Jason Cabrera has trouble with his internet connection, so we'll just get back to him later on because I think his question is interesting and it will help us to be more informed with regards to this discussion. So let's go back for now to some questions that the viewers have prepared for our speaker. So for our next question, Ma'am Irish, as an employee who is a minimum wage earner, how can I contribute to nation building?
So that's a good question. Thank you, ma'am. So we know minimum wage earner are exempted, from income taxes. So yun nga, they don't have any taxes. But note, however, ma'am, that we are actually paying a lot of consumption taxes, no? So you are contributing, ma'am. Like for example, when we buy our groceries, no, may mga VAT imposition yan, value added tax of 12%. When we buy our we buy products. Alam niyo ba na, well, the point of Duterte, no, I think, I believe, sa economy, no, bakit they wanted to give higher take-home pay to our citizens? And it because it encourages more spending on their end, no, more spending on their end. Every time that we spend, we spur the growth of our economy. So spend lang po, ma'am. Spend for our economy. It will help. It will help. Like for example, if you can remember President Gloria Arroyo, ang daming holidays during her time, no? Because that Pangulong Arroyo is an economist. No? She knows that having more holidays encourage more people to spend. So when we spend, it lumalaki yung growth. It spurs activities, economic activities. So yun. And invest for yourself, ma'am, by uplifting your own standard of living. No? Yun naman talaga ang goal ni Duterte, to uplift every Filipino citizen, the standard of living of every Filipino citizen. So thank you, ma'am, for that question.
All right, thank you, Ma'am Irish. So we still have another question for you. Talagang marami talagang prepare yung mga viewers natin, not just the students, but also some visitors who happen to had the interest in watching our topic today, our webinar. So for now, here is the question. Are online sellers bound to pay taxes? And how does the BIR monitor their activities? Go ahead, ma'am.
Good question again, no? So, alam natin na during pandemic, no, ang dami-daming online sellers. And actually, the BIR has been doing campaigns, no, na encouraging taxpayer to register. So, well, currently, BIR is also itself doing digital transformation. Alam niyo ba na yun yung isa sa mga priority program ng BIR. So, BIR is also trying really hard to keep up, no, with the times. So, right now, we are doing, meron na tayong, previously where everything was manual. Ngayon, may mga digital platforms na tayo where we can file our taxes. And sooner or later, no, I'm sure that the BIR will find a way to monitor more closely itong mga online, non-compliant online sellers. So, for now, ma'am, do your part, no, register and ensure that you're able to remit your taxes. All taxpayers doing business or engaged in business are required to pay taxes, but no. So our general rule is everything is taxable unless otherwise exempted. So hindi pa exempted ang mga online sellers.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that information, ma'am. We also have another question for you. What would be the right attitude once we receive a letter of notice from the Bureau?
Right attitude. So smile po. Congratulations, my love letter ka from BIR. Well, ano naman po as I said, BIR are not our enemies. Now, BIR examiners are not our enemies. We should not be scared of them. Well, they are there to help you comply. So, what I would advise, no, yung some of the best practices, do not disregard it. Ito kasi may iba, takot sa mga letters, so iniiwan. No, don't. Address it immediately. Agad-agad po talaga. No? Talk to the examiner assigned, see how you can comply, ano ba yung pwede mo magawa. No? So, discuss the things with the examiner and, well, try to resolve it as much as early as possible, as soon as possible.
Thank you for that, Ma'am Irish. Now, coming from one of the students of COVID department, Kate Nova Alfante, This is her question. The tax reform is indeed a good start to improve our economy, but how can we achieve our goals if there are lots of corrupt officials? Mhm.
That is also my question, Kate. That is why, no? Kaya nga, as I've mentioned, Duterte is aggressively, no, campaigning against corruption. Diba, we see naman a lot of, meron tayong 888, meron tayong, well, the administration is doing something naman about it. Although, maybe, no, it's difficult to eradicate it 100%. Sabi nga nila, corruption has become a culture, no, sad to say, unfortunately, in our country. So, but what we can do is, yun, so fight against corruption and, well, as kayo, as students, no, individuals, no, tayo naman yung mga future seat, tayo rin naman yung uupo, kaya yung mga future ng government natin. So, be a good citizen, no, study hard, pass your exam, strive to be a good citizen. Yun, so, yeah. Hopefully we'll fully eradicate yung corruption.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Ma'am Irish. So, taking some second break, we have some greetings from our viewers via YouTube live stream and Facebook live stream. Coming from Ron Nixon Mendoza. Pa-shout out kina Sir Tim and Sir Jason from your Navarro firm April batch 2019 interns. Sophia, Victoria, and AJ. Our best regards to Sir Alvin Navarro. Hashtag remember mo pa kami, sir. Hashtag keep safe. So I think it's for Sir Victor.
Yes, hi Ron and friends. Yes, I still remember you, Ron. And friends.
Oh, we also have a greeting from Corinne and Joyce. Hello, interns. Hashtag greetings from ALN staffs. Oh, hi, so viewers from another viewer, Corinne. So let's proceed, ma'am, to another question, but this time, galing na to kay Sir Jason Cabrera. So here it is. Considering our tax reform nowadays and based on your professional experience, will these tax reforms may result to effective administration of taxes or stated otherwise, will these increase tax
Tax collection.
collections? Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, so that's a question from Sir Jason. No? So, yes, no, I strongly believe that the tax reform will generate more funds for the government. Na nakita naman natin with the graph that we showed, no, for compared to 2017, 2018, 2019, billions of pesos additional were collected. No? And the tax reform policy, so when we say tax reform policy kasi diba, it's really the laws that are being reformed, yung policies talaga natin. So isa dun kasi sa goal nung administration, as mentioned by our Department of Finance, no, na by reforming these tax laws, we will help examiners administer better, no, the collection process. Kaya isa sa mga program nila, diba, is upliftment of the bank secrecy law to encourage na magkaroon ng way pa sa examiner to audit itong mga enter and after these tax evaders. No? So yes, sir, in fairness naman ho, lalo na for 2020, kahit na pandemic, we're able to collect a lot. No? Umabot pa rin tayo ng 1.9 trillion. Imagine that despite a lot of businesses closing down, temporarily suspending their operations during pandemic. So yeah, so thank you for that question. Sir.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. So we still have one question, and this time it is from one of your students in income taxation class, coming from Mikey Gimbal. Ma'am Irish, how about those small stores, ma'am, that newly opened and like small shawmai business and the sari-sari stores who earned a day like employees, minimum wage earner? Is that accepted with the regular tax, ma'am?
Thank you, Mikey. Plus 5 points for that question. So, ano no? So, sana ba tayo chapter 8? Nag-discuss na tayo ng exemptions. Yeah, well, exempted with our current bracket na, with the video shown, 200, those earning 250,000 below are exempted. Also our BSMBE. So that's another program of the government ng Barangay Small and Medium Entrepreneurs, BSM, Small and Medium Business, BSMBEs. Yeah, so they are exempted by law. So above and beyond that, no, well, they should also comply their own taxes na. So if the sari-sari store is no longer a sari-sari store, if it's earning 250,000 na or mas malaki na ang kanyang revenue, no, 3 million and above na gross sales, then he or she should also file and pay taxes na. Yun.
Thank you, Ma'am Irish, for shedding us some insights in today's topic. We would also like to thank our panel from AL Navarro Accounting and Auditing Services for their participation in today's webinar. And today, to end our webinar, we would like to award our certificates of appreciation to our distinguished speakers. So for now, may I request the Dean of our College of Business Education, Dr. Melchor Q. Bombeo, to award and read the citation. Sir?
Oh, thank you so much for the very, very interesting discussion on the topic. As a token of gratitude, Jose Maria College would like to present this certificate of appreciation to Ma'am Irish Bulano, Certified Public Accountant, for her selfless service in sharing her knowledge and expertise as a resource person in a webinar, BIR Enforcement Activities and the Duterte Administration's Tax Reform Program during JMC EduTrends live stream program headed by the College of Business Administration. Given this 19th day of March 2021 at Jose Maria College, Davao City, Philippines. Signed, Dr. Melchor Q. Bombeo, Dean, the College of Business Education, and signed by Dr. Josefina D. Ortega, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Ma'am Iris, thank you very much for a very informative presentation. Congratulations at maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Doc Michelle.
To our panelists, we have Sir Victor Timtim of AL Navarro Accounting and Auditing Services for sharing his knowledge and expertise as panelist in the webinar BIR Enforcement Activities and the Duterte Administration Tax Reform Program during JMC EduTrends live stream program headed by the College of Business Education, given this 19th day of March 2021 at Jose Maria College, Davao City, Philippines. Signed, Dr. Melchor Q. Bombeo, Dean, College of Business Education, and Dr. Josefina D. Ortega, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Sir Vic, thank you so much for gracing our webinar this morning.
Thank you also, Sir Mel, and everyone behind JMC EduTrends. Thank you.
To Sir Jason B. Cabrera, CPA, we also present the certificate of appreciation for sharing his knowledge and expertise as panelist in a seminar BIR enforcement activities and the Duterte administration's tax reform program during JMC EduTrends live stream program hosted by the College of Business Education, given this 90th day of March 2021 at Jose Maria College, Davao City, Philippines. Signed, Dr. Melchor Q. Bombeo, CPA, Dean, College of Business Administration, and signed by Dr. Josefina de Ortega, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Sir Jason, maraming salamat sa uulitin.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having us here. Thank you also, JMC.
Now, likewise, we would
Good
like
speaker.
also
Thank you.
to
Thank you.
likewise, we would like to acknowledge the support that is given to us by the Department of Trade and Industry by encouraging the micro, small, and medium enterprises of Davao City to join this webinar. Hence, the Certificate of Appreciation is proudly given to the Department of Trade and Industry, Davao City Field Office, for the invaluable support and as a co-sponsor in the webinar BIR enforcement activities and the Duterte administration tax reform program during the JMC EduTrends program. Given this 90th day of March 2021 at Jose Maria College, Davao City, Philippines, signed Dr. Melchor Q. Bombeo, Dean, College of Business Administration, and signed Dr. Josefina D. Ortega, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Sa lahat ng mga taga-DTI, ang aming taos-pusong pasasalamat at mainit na sa pagsasaludo sa palagi niyong pag-support sa programa ng Jose Maria College. More power and thank you.
Thank you for that, Dr. Melchor Bombeo. And I would also like to thank again our panel, Sir Victor and Sir Jason, and also to our speaker, Ma'am Irish, for having them to this informative and concise discussion with regards to the tax reform program and other enforcement activities from the BIR. And right now, before we would end this program, may I call on Ma'am Irish? Ma'am, is there anything that you would like to add or plug for the benefit of our viewers?
So thank you, Suzanne. Again, thank you so much to Docmal for this opportunity and to JMC EduTrends and everyone and to our panelists for being with us. So again, I encourage everyone, sabi ni Pangulong Duterte, kailangan ko ang tulong nyo. So let's do our part. Let's be faithful in doing what we are assigned to do. And to help, let's build our nation together. Let's build a beautiful Pilipinas. Pilipinas pagbabago para sa Pilipinas. And for those whose questions were not answered, I'll ask Suzanne to post my email address. You can contact me at irishbolano@gmail.com and send your questions there, or you can message me. So thank you so much, everyone. And it's really an exciting time for us. So continue na abangan nyo pa ang mga tax reform program of our administration. So God bless everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Irish. And we may now proceed to Sir Victor and Sir Jason to this panel. Sir, is there anything that you would like to add or plug for the benefit of our viewers?
Yes, also thank you, Ma'am Irish, for this very informative webinar ba tawag dito? So if you also have any questions related to tax matters, you can also contact AL Navarro Accounting Services at 2915309 or email us at alnavarroaccounting@yahoo.com.ph. Thank you, Mrs. Zane.
Thank you to Sir Victor. Thank you once again for very informative and very concise discussion with these people in this webinar. And indeed, the change that the tax reform program brought in our economy has been very beneficial, and it may benefit us more on the long run on the proposals it may carry. And it is also even obvious now that the tax reform enabled our government to have much simpler, fairer, and more efficient tax system. So once again, this had been another fruitful episode of JMC EduTrends, where we continue to deliver timely and informative discussions straight to your homes. So don't forget to like, share, and follow our official Facebook page at the Samaria College for more updates. And everyone, catch us again live for our next discussion as we learn to seize every opportunity and turn them into successful venture through technopreneurship. Thank you once again, and may you have a good day ahead, and God bless. This is Suzanne
That ends another substantive discussion on JMC EduTrends, produced by the Jose Maria College Communication Affairs Office. On behalf of our founding president, Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy, thank you for being with us. Join us again next time for another interesting, inspiring, and transcending discussion on JMC EduTrends. Bye everyone, and keep safe.